Hey guys, so back from the weekend, Monday now. Gonna continue on the flare. I got a sick orbital sander. It's like $40 from Harbor Freight, the actual spinny boy. Also, yeah, Need for Speed plates. Finally got them. It's been like 2-month wait, I think, maybe a little bit less. I only have one here. New Jersey requires you to put license plate in the front and back. I only put it in the back. I didn't mean to drop that. I only put it in the back. It's like a ticket of like $70 if they catch you, but they rarely really pull you over for it unless they like want to be an asshole. So it's not like a big thing like it is, I guess, in Europe or something if you don't. So the other plate's already on the car. It fits. It's cool. You know, it's $50, but that's what it would cost to renew your registration in America every year anyway. So, and thirdly, as you can see by this, I drew a very quick picture. I can draw cars kind of well, but this is like, I think I did this in like 10 seconds. And I've had a guy that has like a really good, like, you know those $200 plus 1/18 scale models? Well, he has one of the GTR race car, and he's been like measuring the flare, different measurements of the flare in different points. And basically it's like, if, I'm trying to think of an example, basically like this one right here. This is 1/4 of an inch. And the model's a 1/18th. So all you do is type in 0.25 to represent 1/4 of an inch, and you multiply it by 18, and that gives you 4.5. So it's 4.5 inches in real life. When it's like 11 out of 13ths, then you just times 11 times 18 divided by 32. So to get these, but as you can see, that's the measurement. I think I found the point because I think the back of the flare, like that sits in the back of the car, is a lot less wider than it should be, and it is actually supposed to be wider than the top. I don't know what the flare is right now. I'm going to go measure it right now, and if anything, we'll add material if we need to make it wider or whatnot, but... Okay, so ignore the noise, grass cutting. I just cut this down to 4.5, and I just put it on the car, and it looks so much better. Because before, when you would put it on, that front section right here, which I just cut, it would be sticking out, like, and you would notice that the whole arch isn't straight. Obviously, different parts of this flare are going to be different lengths because of the body, because the body is obviously, you know, contouring and stuff. So as you can see, I kind of just taped on some paper. It's probably, I'm going to be starting to lay it from here, and it's just going to slowly build up more and more, and then this is the thing, and then I even did the little corner back there for rigidity. It's kind of stupid because I measured the mistake I did is when I pulled this out, I measured 5.5 all across, but that's stupid because the body is different, so that's just my mistake. Tomorrow with the other flare, we'll know not to do that. Tomorrow with the other flare, I might not even need to use the boards even. I can literally just trace this one on the cardboard paper, flip the cardboard paper around, and that's really it. I mean, that's it. And then I can use that one, the foam one, as like a, I don't know, like a structure for it or something, or use something else for a structure. I don't really care. I just don't feel like going through cutting all the foam if it's for nothing. You know, the only point of that foam was so that the paper doesn't fall through with all the weight of the fiberglass. But quite honestly, it's not even really needed, and it speeds up the process a crazy amount, if you guys haven't noticed. finished off this section. You can literally see which part is the section and which isn't, because clearly it's a different color. And I trimmed it down and made it all the right dimensions. So now I'm just going to start sanding. I'm going to try to get rid of all this crap, and then after that you'll obviously see the high and low spots, and that's where I'm going to start like putting crazy amounts of filler and Bondo and stuff. See, sanded it. It's a lot smoother and better looking. It's just obviously there's still high and low spots. That's going to be dealt with Bondo filler, body filler. Oh, I just broke this thing. So I don't really want to continue until this edge is actually nice. As you can see, it's wrinkly and bacony, and I don't really want to perfect that all with filler because I think that's just too much work and it can be done easier. So I'm actually going to take, and also the line doesn't seem like it's straight when you look at it, and I know this line is like perfect for the body. So now probably gonna go ahead and place this down on a cardboard paper, trace it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take the grinder and cut this perfectly as a line, and then out of the cardboard paper remake the edge, but in one piece, because this was made with multiple pieces. That's why it's not perfectly straight. When I realized, hey, the paper is going to bend in and out based on how the flare is flexing, which, as you can see, it's very flexible right now since it has no edge. The edge is needed not just for the look, but also to prevent it from flexing like this. Why don't I just lay it flat on the ground like that? Like, except inside, like take a foam board, put it on the thing, and lay it flat, and then just put paper upside down, so when you lift it up, the paper is stuck to it and nothing else. So as you can see, I took a whole piece of styrofoam, just put 2 pieces of paper to cover it, but at least now you'll know that all the edges are exactly the same, because you can see there's a little bit more of a gap here, and then a little bits of gaps there, and at least now everything will be flat to a flat surface. So it's like the perfect idea. As you remember, I have that stupid stubborn corner right here that keeps bending like crazy. It has like an intense bend. Because there is no actual arch here now, you can unbend that, and what I did is unbent it and flattened it, and right now I'm just going to put like 3 sheets of fiberglass right there, and once it hardens and I let go, this isn't going to bend so much. It's going to be more of a straight arch, or at least that's what I hope. So I'm just going to do that really quickly, add a crazy amount of hardener to the resin so it just becomes hard like in like a minute, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and do the edge. I just finished up. Looks decent, I guess. I packed as much fiberglass as I could. I literally started cutting up with the sheet that was on the floor and used all of it on this. I'm pretty sure the amount that I left on there is good enough, but even if it's too thin after I cut and trim everything, you know, I can always just pack more from the inside. Just should make it a lot stronger. Also, what I did is, as you can see, it's mocked up on both these sides to prevent the flare from expanding. I measured 30 inches from this corner to this corner with it sitting on the car. So, another thing I wanted to talk to you guys is the fuel situation. So as you can see, the flare is actually going to be sitting like about right through here. With the other flare, I didn't really care. It was like through here. I mean, you can see where the old flare used to be. It was fine. I cut the gas cap, but I don't really like this anyway. I mean, it's like annoying every time you go to a gas station. You know, it's crap because in New Jersey, the one state in America, you're actually supposed to let the gas attendants fill your gas up. I know in Europe and Japan and stuff like that, they do it for you as well, but what I'm going to be doing is actually somehow, I guess, welding this gas cap. That'll be the last step, but welding this gas cap, fiberglassing, and shaving Bondo, whatever, making it so that this just looks like a panel. And then I'm actually going to put a filler right here, and I'll show you guys a picture. It's really, really expensive, but it's something called dry brake, and it's what race cars use, and it's basically like, it has a spring that keeps the cap like closed, but then if you push through it really hard, it like opens to fill up the tank. But basically, I wish I could be doing the single one. It's like $200 to $400 for a single one. But the thing is, I want to do the dual one because it's exactly like the one in the game, but it's like literally $700 to $900. So I don't know what I'll do with that because I can't really afford that right now because I have other things to do for the cage and the roof and Lexan and stuff. But it's basically going to sit here, and I'm actually going to cut the filler neck, run it through the inside of the wheel well to the dry brake thing, so that instead I could just stick a nozzle through and it won't have a cap. But I think that'll be obviously better, and then I get to shave this, not interfere with the flare or anything, and it'll be a lot cooler. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode, whatever this is. I'm going to go eat now and finish this up. I'll show you guys how that looks tomorrow, and we'll go from there, I guess. A lot of stuff coming, as you can tell. I know I've been working on this flare forever. It's just, like I said, it's better to learn on this one flare than the other one I can do in a day or two. Depending on how that turns out, we'll continue